Alright, welcome back to World of Tanks with the Captain. I'm taking a look at the Type 64, the new Chinese light premium tank. It's a bit of an odd looking fella. It's open top. You can see right inside. Looking over at the hit points, it's got about 580, which is not great. The Chaffee's actually got 580, and it's a tier 5 tank. So hit points aren't great. The power to weight ratio is okay. 23.30 is okay. I mean, keep comparing it to the Chaffee, but hold on a sec. Power to weight is what? 21.46. My Chaffee is 25. So my Lux is 27. So the power to weight ratio on the Type 64 isn't fantastic, but you know, I haven't played it yet, so we'll see what it's like when you're actually driving around. So it's got about 500 hit points, 500 in horsepower. Speed limit is 72.4, so that's fast. That's like blazing fast. That's like ELC fast. 56 traverse, which means, yeah, it's going to be pretty agile. Not too many tanks have 56 traverse speed, except for the higher end Chinese light tanks. Armor. Nothing to speak about here. 25, 12, 19 on the hull, 25, 12, 12 on the turret. So pretty much you get hit, you're going to get hit. The gun is interesting. We got a 76 millimeter gun, 18 rounds per minute. So if you've driven an Easy 8, you'll have a pretty good idea what 18 feels like. 18 is not bad. You can get a few shots down range on that. You've got 120 penetration and 115 damage. This feels a lot like an American gun at tier 6. So decent penetration. Like some light tanks are worse than this. My A43 medium tank has less penetration than that. The accuracy is 0.4, which is it's okay. It's nothing to write home about, but it's not bad. If it was bad, it'd be like 0.42, 0.43. I consider that to be fairly bad. Aiming time's good at 2.1. I wish it was a little bit quicker, like 2 or 1.9, but I guess you can't have everything. Modules I dumped on this. I took a gun lang drive, so I load a little bit quicker. I took coated optics, so I can get a little bit better view range. And I took rammer for loading times. And look at this, I forgot to put on my last skill on my dude here. And since I won't be anywhere near 100, I'll just put on camo on everyone, except for off-road driving on that one guy. Looking at more of the stats here, you got a tour traverse of 36, which is, it's pretty okay. You're not going to get stuck out too bad with that. And you got a view range of 390, that's quite good. I mean, it's not Chaffee good again, which has 400, but that's all right. 700 signal range, that's good. Good for the most part. Looks like you can load out not too many shells here. You only get to hold about 45. So if you shoot a lot, you're going to want to be careful. So we got the radio, we got tracks, one engine, and that's the turret. So looks like you got 5 crew members. And not too much else to look at in the garage here, so let's load in some games and see what this guy's like. Looking at the team composition here, it looks like we got a whole whackload of T-40-45s, some of the new German TDs, and our team has 3 Type 64s and a Japanese premium tank, a Chinukai. So this is going to be funny. Alright. I don't particularly want to drive into the city. I am going to be a little bit of a puss, and I'm going to drive out into the field. Whoa! A little bit of lag there. And I also noticed that my frame rate is a little bit lower on the test server. Maybe things aren't as optimized, or maybe it's running more in a debug mode instead of an alpha state. And what that means basically is that the game is logging data, and that actually slows the game down quite a bit. So that could explain that. Also, maybe it's because I'm recording and I'm playing live. Maybe it's my recording program works a little bit better when you're actually just doing replays and not loading in live. All right, we got a shot here at the T-44-85. Oh, that one missed. All right, time to get... Okay. Let's check out this guy's armor. Alright, his turret armor's not so hot. I missed that one too. Rate of fire's nice. Okay, that one goes in. Okay, that one bounced. That one got him in the tracks. He finally stops, but he misses. Alright, we did some decent damage to those fellas. What do we got a shot at here? There is something I can shoot at. Where is he? Oh, he's in between the slats. Oh, this isn't going to be a very good high quality shot. Alright, what do we got in the field? T-34-85. This guy's not very good armor either. Okay. So, I'm not really interested in engaging the T-34-85. I'd like to kind of see how this thing stacks up against those T-44s a little bit more. Even though they're Tier 7. We'll see what we can do. We also happen to have a Tiger. So we got about 2.85 second reload. I really like having that reload timer. I really wish that was on the live server. So I pop up here. More shots into the T-44s. Wow, that guy has really weak armor. Oh! And that was a shot from one of their tank destroyers. Wow, he really did me. Okay, so don't get shot by their tank destroyer, wherever the fuck it was. It must have been out in the field somewhere. While I was parked on the side of the hill, he must have cranked me from somewhere over there. Because I do not see... I don't think he had a line of sight for me anywhere else. He must have been out in the field. So, you die quite quickly. Alright, here we go. Worst matchmaking possible. On the Canada coast. This tank is very maneuverable. I like driving it. This is a game where I can't shoot or I will get seen. So I've got to be very careful that I don't get spotted. So, popped into my bush here. Looks like we spotted Type 64. A bunch of stuff's coming. Unfortunately for me, it looks like almost everyone else on my team has decided to go the other way. I have this guy who is being an absolute moron, driving through the middle of the map. And then we have our Leopard 1 taking out the other T-64. But there's no point in me shooting. I really don't want to shoot because I don't want to get spotted. But then this T-57 pulls up, and this is where I get proxy spotted. I was worried. I don't have 6th sense, so I don't know if I get spotted or not. But yeah, I got spotted, and it is now end of days. It's end of days for the poor Type 64. When you get shot by one of those fellas, yeah, not good. So did a little bit of passive scouting there and was able to spot a lot of the enemy tanks coming over, but unfortunately most of my team weren't set up to shoot at anything, and I unfortunately got proxy spotted by the T-57, I think, underneath the bridge. I don't think anything else was going to see me. So a little bit unfortunate there, but there's not much you can do when basically you're the furthest guy forward and no one is shooting at what you're shooting at. And yeah, bit of bad luck, but I don't really blame it on the tank. It's just kind of the way it happened. Yeah. Yeah, it's another one of these. Almost all type 210 loadout. And one of the things I like to point out, look at the gun depression. This is the first Chinese tank that has gun depression. You can actually aim down. So that's pretty exciting. Woo, look at that! You can aim down! Woo! Look how excited this tank is. I can aim down! So right now I'm just going to try and drive around and just kind of get a feel for how does this thing feel? Where can I do that without dying? So I just drive over here. Avoid the Death Star. Dun, 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 dun. So on this ground here, like, doing it anywhere from, I'm swerving around, so I'm doing anywhere from about 40 to 60 something kilometers per hour. On the grass here, doing about, I don't know, we're about in the 50s. I guess it can go faster, but... So there was an IS-7. I didn't really feel like sending my presence out over the waves there. I wasn't going to penetrate him anyway. So I'm just trying to evaluate what's where, and I see a tank in G6 and AMX fighting one of our guys, the 1390. So I'm like, I can penetrate him. I'm going to go over there and be useful. I think that's part of the way you got to play this tank on maps where scouting really doesn't... You can't scout this map, really. Like, you can jump into a bush and sit there and then get obliterated and stuff, but, I mean, that really doesn't help everyone very much, so... Was able to shoot him once, and that's about it. So there's a T-62A coming, and at first I'm like, fuck, I gotta book it out of here. But then I was like, okay, I don't need to book it out of here. I don't need to run. Because there's a Leopard 1 sitting right there. And this is right where I changed my mind. But I'm not going to attack that guy frontally. I am going to hang out around the side. Also see there's an Object 268, so I do not want to get shot by him. But I'm going fast enough that I don't think he could shoot me without having to turn his hull, and then that would wreck his day. So I'm just driving up here. And I come around. T-62A is completely ignoring me. Shoot him again. Shoot him again. And I've run out of room here. And I don't really have a great angle without opening myself up to the object. I'm like, no. Probably a stupid thing to do. So, gonna pop out one last time. Aim this guy up. Bam! That is a Type 64 kill on a T-62A. So he reduced our Leopard down to about half his health, but I did about 500 and something damage to him, so that was quite useful. And I really like how mobile this tank is. It's a lot of fun to just bomb around on. Just don't get shot. Like in the last game. You get 1 or 2 shots maybe, and then you're toast. Especially with some of the new German tank destroyers. You just get shot, and then you get really, really dead. So, things I like best about this guy, as this game is slowly ending here. Things I like best is the turret traverse is good, the tank traverse itself is good, the mobility is fantastic, it accelerates well, the gun is basically an American gun, and I don't mind that at all. So that part of this tank is really nice. It has a decent gun. It has no armor to speak of, so just pretend it doesn't have any. And yeah, just use it to flank if you want to be aggressive scout, and hopefully you don't get proxy spotted when you have to be passive scout. But all in all, like, I can't really find anything too bad to say about it for what this tank is. Like, it's a premium scout tank, and it does its job. The The rate of fire is good. The accuracy is decent at 0.4. Like decent as in it's okay, it's average-ish, but it could be a lot worse considering a lot of Chinese tanks have well into the fours of accuracy. So when it comes down to it, like would I recommend this tank? Yeah, I don't think it's too bad. As a training tank for if you're going down that line of tanks down to the WZ-132 and the 5916 and stuff, if you want a tank that's going to train those crews up and everything, then this is the ticket. I don't think this is a bad tank at all. The decent gun, good gun depression, great mobility, good speed, 0 armor. Yeah. Plus, it actually kind of looks cool. It looks like a knockoff Hellcat a little bit. I don't know, just because it's turreted, and I don't know, it kind of reminds me of a Hellcat. Maybe the turret is a Hellcat turret or something. It just looks, it has a neat look to it. Cool, and that's going to be my Type 64 review. I know it's not super comprehensive. I only played about 3 or 4 games in the thing, but it's a good first look, and maybe give you an idea of whether this tank's for you or not. Thanks for watching. Later.